anticipated videos that I've been promising you, the Yetivette spec video. So I get a lot of comments like, hey, what's the mods on the Yetivette? You know, what's been done to it? What do you have planned next? So we are going to cover all of that, plus a few options that came on the car that I think are just helpful for drag racing, and then also just some random facts about the car that have nothing to do with drag racing or performance. They're just things you may want to know, or not. So anyway, we'll jump into it since this is what you want. So give the people what they want. Modifications. So the modifications that have been done to the car so far include BTR Stage 4 cam. There's also a Yank 4000 high stall torque converter. And if you watch my live streams of my test runs on Saturday mornings when I'm doing my time trials, you will probably hear me talk about the high stall torque converter because sometimes it gets a little cranky on me and I talk about it. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about, is my Yank 4000. And then it also has a Fast 76 intake and a Varium cold air intake. And so these two systems married together, they attach to each other, and I will add some B-roll in here to show you how it's connected and sits on top of the engine and all pretty, and how it allows airflow to go into my wonderful fuel mixture and be ignited and make the car go fast. Fun stuff. So anyway, it also has a ported oil pump, which is great. It increases the flow. Super helpful, especially when you're trying to keep temperatures regulated and make sure all your systems are getting what they need to be healthy while going down the track. It also has hardened push rods and double beehive springs. Whew, why is that so hard to say? But anyway, it has double beehive springs, and between that and the hardened push rods, it really just makes sure that the engine is good and stout and can handle those higher RPMs. So this engine, it's making about 430 to 440 horsepower. I haven't had the car dynoed yet. It's something that's on my list of things I would love to do, but the last time the car was dynoed at CBI Street Cars, that was the number range that they had written down for the car when it passed through their hands. So maybe we'll do a dyno video in the future. Who knows? It's on my list. But anyway, and then let's move on to the exhaust system. So you guys have heard me talk about my Texas Speed X pipe, but there's also Texas Speed stainless IT headers on the car. So those are obviously attached to the X pipe. And then there's OBX catbacks on the car as well. Probably the most commented on feature of the car, although it falsely, is the wheels on the car. So everybody comments, especially on my TikTok videos, and goes, hey, you got weld race wheels, don't you? Those are nice. And I am too honest and I say, actually they're from Jegs. So they're SSR spike wheels from Jegs, and they look really good. They do, and I've kind of cheated a little bit because I've hidden the Jegs logo underneath some black automotive vinyl that I cut on my Cricut machine, and then put really fancy white automotive vinyl C5 logos over it, so you can't tell that they're from Jegs anymore. But they're still not weld race wheels. I've just kind of tricked everyone into thinking they're fancier than they are, which is fine. Weld race wheels are something I would really like to have on the car. The next time that I need tires, I am going to really look into whether or not I want to upgrade the wheels as well, because longer term, the wheels that are on the car, they're really not for race use. It actually says that if you go to purchase them on the Jeg site, that hey, these are for street use only, which obviously I'm not using them on the street, but at some point in the future, I think that a proper set of race wheels will be in order, but I've also had no problems with the wheels, and I think they look fantastic, so who knows? I think they're going to be a fixture on the car for a while until I either start going faster or need a new set of wheels and tires for another reason. hopefully that doesn't happen. But anyway, and then those wheels are attached to Hoosier drag radials. I've been told that they are the best. I have not ever owned another set of drag radials that were not Hoosier, so I cannot comment on that. If you have a different opinion, or if you think Mickey Thompson or some other brand has been better for you, I would love to hear it, because eventually my tires are going to wear out and I've never known anything different, so I'm very nervous to change. But anyway, the last thing that the car has on it as far as mods is a tune, which you guys are probably not surprised. The tune came from CBI Street Cars. They did the tuning on the vehicle out in Missouri, and they typically tune their cars to be streetable. Which it is. It's not so aggressive. You can't drive it down the street. I used to drive the car over on the slicks to the local track, but it is closed this year due to COVID-19. So now the Yetivette is trailer bound 100% of the time, and it is what it is. But anyway, the tune's pretty nice. I don't have any problems with it. If you've been watching my live streams of my test setups, you might have noticed that we're doing a little testing on the car to see exactly where the tune has the car shifting and if those points are consistent. So more to come on that. But anyway, the next thing that we can move on to is the options that came in the car that I particularly think are great for drag racing. So I won't go into it, but previous to Yetivette, I was racing a mostly stock C5 car that was very low basic options. It is still my baby. I still have it. And yes, I do race it from time to time when I'm unable to trailer Yetivette to the track. And it's a great car. For a stock car, it runs great. But it does not have these two things that make me feel like I am living in the lap of luxury when I drive Yetivette at the track. The first one is the heads-up display, because I can see both the tree coming down and my RPMs at the same time. It's amazing. It's like having a hood tech, except for I don't have to drill any holes or run any wires or anything like that. It's just, you know, a nice display right in front of my face. It's like, what more can a girl want? But anyway, the RPO code number for that, if you want to see if your car has it, although I'm pretty sure that you will know, is UV6. So you can look that up in your glove box, and I will show you where you can look for that. My sticker is particularly beat up, so it is hard to read, although it is still readable, and I'm thankful it is there.
And here in the glove box on the passenger side, if I take out all of the items that are in my glove box, you can see on the front here that there is a sticker. And my sticker, like I said, is very beat up, but you can see the codes there.
And then the second thing that the car has that I think is wonderful is the performance axle. So the performance axle is a 3.15 axle ratio that was offered on automatic vehicles as an upgrade. So before, when I was thinking about just modifying the black car instead of buying a second vehicle dedicated to drag racing and was weighing those options, I had a lot of other racers tell me, hey, if you want to go faster, two things to do: wheels and tires and rear gear ratio. That's going to get you the most bang for your buck. Fastest thing, like switch to make you go faster. So I was looking into that, and so I was very pleasantly surprised when I was looking through the mods list on this and going, hey, there's no rear end gears. That's weird. That's usually one of the first things people do to cars. And they were like, oh yeah, it's got the performance axle in the back. And I was like, what? That's helpful. I mean, not that I still couldn't upgrade that if I wanted to, but at this point, the rear end gears are not a limiting factor for me, and it's much better than the stock. So I like it, and I've left it. So that code is the G92, and that is something that you, unlike the heads-up display, probably will need to look in the glove box to see if you have or not. That's what's been done so far, or that came on the car. What hasn't been done yet is the RPM roll bar install, and it's something that we keep debating about when we want to do it, and I think we've ultimately decided that it probably won't happen this race season unless some other force of nature changes that. But ultimately, where I'm racing this year, the track, it's a points race every weekend, and I'm not willing to give up a weekend of racing in points to go add the roll bar, especially because it's not required at the speeds I'm going currently. Although I am very much a safety first kind of person, and I know that this is not replaceable. You are not replaceable, so please be safe. So that's one of the top priorities come the end of the season. And the other one is the line locks, which at this point is just a luxury for me, but we have all the parts for those things sitting in the garage, ready and waiting to go, and I will definitely take video of it when we do it. It's just finding time between working full-time, making videos, driving at the track. I need more hours in a day. I already don't sleep enough, but I digress. And then the other thing that we're debating about doing is suspension. I think ultimately we will do it. We're just debating about how we want to go about doing it. So if anybody has done a suspension in a C5 or on a drag car and has some thoughts, things that went well, things that didn't go well, I would love to hear it. Please comment down below. I appreciate your help on figuring out what this car is going to look like in another year and just how to make it better. So yes, please tell me anything along those lines that you want to share. Some other fun facts about the car. You've probably noticed that there's some blackout and tint on the vehicle that is quite dark. I did not do that. It came on the car from the previous owner, which I think is actually pretty rad. I did take off the dark tint that was on the taillights because I run at some pretty rural tracks at night, and it was just hard for people to see the car in the pit areas, and it was more of a safety thing. Plus, I don't think it looks too bad with the red, just on the taillights. The interior of the car is light oak, which is actually, I guess, a pretty rare combination for 2000, the Arctic White and the light oak. So fancy, but that, like I said, doesn't change performance at all. And honestly, when we put the roll bar in, we're probably going to rip out the carpet, and I'm going to try and put it back nice and neat, but we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see where it goes from here, and I'm definitely glad that you all have taken interest in me and the car and racing, and it's just been a lot of fun to kind of share that journey with everyone each week at the track. So anyway, if you like what you saw here, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not subscribe? And if you want to follow me on other forms of social media, you can always follow me on Instagram at Tach_it_up. If TikTok's the thing you do, you can follow me on TikTok. I post a lot of run videos there, and my TikTok is Tach_it_up_Hilary with 1 L. And you can always follow us on Facebook at Tach It Up. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week. Bye.